What is the biggest question on the 49ers heading into OTAs? Biggest question mark.
Offensive line. Offensive line. I hate the offensive line.
Be specific.
I don't know why no one's talking about it so much. Look, be specific, outside of everyone but Trent Williams. That's how specific I am. Outside of everyone except Trent Williams.
Yeah.
Who the hell is what? You got left guard. Okay, Laken Tomlinson left. And look, this is why I agree with you. Yeah, you could have paid for Laken Tomlinson because you have a rookie quarterback on a rookie contract. And also key would have kept some stability on that left side offensive line. Now you're gonna have to put someone new in there. So left guard, question mark. Center, no duh, question mark with Alex Mack. Is he coming back? Probably not. And if he does it, you're gonna throw in Jake Brendel there, like you said. You're gonna throw in Jake
Let's sit there for a second, because I was gonna say center. I know there are more questions on the offensive line. We'll get to them, but center.
Oh God,
as every day goes by and there's still no clarity. I mean, it's May 11th and we still don't know if Alex Mack is gonna play this year. That doesn't seem good. And you start to look at what the Niners have done. They've put together a big competition. Jake Brendel, they keep mentioning him. Daniel Brunskill, Nick Zakelj, Donovan West, Jason Poe. That's like 4 or 5 guys. Seems like they're sort of preparing for life after Alex Mack. And they're doing it with a poo-poo platter of undrafted free agents and guys who've never played the position before. So I don't know, man. That center position is like, what? The plan is what? To have Daniel Brunskill play that one, or Donovan West is just going to step in as an undrafted free agent and just man the center spot like that? Because at least at right tackle, then you understand that the Niners are fantasizing about 17 games of Mike McGlinchey because he's already said he's going to be ready. I don't even know what they're fantasizing about at center. Like Donovan West playing really well. Nick Zakelj learning how to play the spot in 3 months. Daniel Brunskill. I'm curious about that position in particular.
Yeah, and Lynch said, like, yeah, we do think center could be played by a rookie. I think at his post-draft presser, which I thought was a little bit of an eyebrow raiser. It's like,
they thought Ben Garland command the spot for a full year in 2020. He didn't make it to week 1.
Yeah, so you guys are. I kind of feel like it's almost like they're convincing themselves, trying to fool themselves and believing certain things. It's a little wild. That's why I think it also kind of, coincides with how they think the left guard and the right guard situation is going to play. Basically, that whole left through right guard situation, including center. It's a huge mystery, huge question mark. I know people have the concerns with safety, but that's a little easier, to my opinion, to mask. You can't mask the interior offensive line. And even if you have like a mobile quarterback in Trey Lance, when you have pressure coming straight at you in the face, it's a little bit harder to get to. So, I mean, that's rough, man. You're going to have your second year quarterback who hasn't started it, who barely has any starts, with a whole new novice of offensive line, left guard, center, right guard. And then again, with a question mark at Mike McGlinchey, how he's going to handle coming off a torn quad. That's pretty rough. It's going to probably be a little rough goings for Lance in his first quarter, maybe even first half of the season, if they can ever figure it out.
If you remember, I'm trying to remember 2020. It was a couple of years ago, but
they had a rotating.
Weston Richburg was never coming back. They thought he would, but he never came back. So they went with Ben Garland. He got a high ankle sprain in camp, and then they had to go with
Hronis Grasu.
They kept going back. Should we stick with Brunskill or Hronis Grasu? And week 1, they decided to go with Grasu, who is like not an NFL player. He's a good practice squad guy.
It's pretty bad.
And I think the first play from scrimmage was from the shotgun, which I always noticed with the Niners. Like, why are you doing that? You're an under center team. And they did a bunch of shotgun runs that didn't work that well. I think their touchdown was a throw to Mostert. And they did all this because they were terrified of Jimmy Garoppolo getting hurt behind Hronis Grasu. And really, he ended up, that pocket was a joke. I think he ended up, I know it wasn't Grasu's fault that he got hurt, but I remember in Seattle, midway through the year, they just kept blitzing Bobby Wagner through the A-gap because Grasu couldn't pick it up. And I think he had a bunch of sacks and quarterback hits in that game. And eventually the Niners just moved Brunskill over to center, and I think played McKivitz at guard. That's how they finished the year. Why is that not going to happen this year? I'm
getting 2020 vibes as well. I think I wrote about it on this year. Some article recently. I forgot what it was, but I was getting total 2020 vibes right now. It's going to be interesting how we're going to see training camp, because a little bit that is indicative of how that interior is going to be, because of if players are going to get driven back at center. I hope they don't play Brunskill at center, because as much as he did a decent job in 2020, keep him at right guard, because he's barely good enough at that.
Yeah, he's not a good center, man. His snaps are all over the place.
That was what did they also? Yeah, they had a good amount of fumbles, especially in training camp. Yeah. I remember 2020.
Yes. He's not a center. He's barely a decent guard. I'm sorry, Daniel.
The 49ers really need a hope and pray, which, shoot, I think they already know Mac's not coming back, but somehow, some way, some God give him away.
So if you move Brunskill over to center,
son,
then that's a question. Now you have two questions at guard, and you're hoping and praying that Mike McGlinchey can be what he used to be, which was decent.
I feel bad for Lance. It's not right for him. I mean, maybe it'll turn out okay, but the thing is, it's kind of funny how the Niners view Chris Forster like he's Chris Kasarik off offensive line. Like they think they're going to turn out these products when they've never developed anyone on the offensive line. What Chris Kasarik is like a demigod over there.
Yeah.
You got freaking Chris Forster, who's just some guy chilling in the city, just walking around doing nothing or whatever. It's just like night and day right now the way they view their coaches. Chris Forster's just a guy.
Yeah. It's crazy. They look at Chris Forster like he's Chris Kasarik, like he could just like he's never done it with this team. It's crazy. And I know like you don't have to have the best offensive line in the league. Just having a great offensive line doesn't guarantee you anything in the NFL. But if you have a bad, you want to give your young quarterback like some stability and continuity on the offensive line. And they're going to have a new left guard, potentially a new center, potentially a new right guard, and maybe a new right tackle if Mike McGlinchey isn't ready by week 1. That's not ideal. That's not what you want to do. And they're potentially going to be reshuffling all year, trying out a new center, moving Brunskill over. Oh, he's a center. Now he's back at guard. Like that's exactly what you don't want to do. You just want to have a decent offensive line with the same 5 guys all the time. That's all you need. And the Niners can't even get that. It's crazy, man. All because young James on the roster, $27 million. Why? Why?
Like entering free agency, I thought Laken Tomlinson would be a top priority free agent re-signing just because, like, and look, as much as he wasn't worth that much, at least like you would have had stability. You would have put Lance in a better situation on the left side. Whereas instead of having 2 or 3 questions, now you only have 1 or 2 questions on offensive line. But sure enough, now you have 3 and maybe even 4.
Maurice said since Laken got here, he played next to Staley and Trent. These are probably Hall of Fame players. Laken is not special. No, he's
no
not
one's claiming special.
Not special, but he's better than what the Niners have now.
For sure.
And why did the Jets sign him?
I don't think that's fair to even credit, like, great, he had Staley and Trent Williams next to him. That's why he looks so good. Like, yeah, I'm sure I played a part. You know, I'm sure I played maybe a 10, 20%, but come on, let's not say that's half or more. That's unfair. All of a sudden, that like now that's like it's like, oh, the wide receiver makes the quarterback. Like, I mean, yeah, I give these guys a little bit of some credit on their own. It's not just everything on just the other player, the other talent. At some point, Laken did hold his own.
Yeah, I mean, are you telling me that Aaron Banks is just going to be Laken Tomlinson because he's playing next to Trent? Like, Jose and I have seen Aaron Banks and Laken Tomlinson in the one-on-one pass rush drills. Laken Tomlinson is a grown man. Like, that dude whooped Javon Kinlaw's ass daily. Yep. I mean, with pleasure, easily. I mean, it was something to watch. Like, he is, I mean, he would never lose to someone like Solomon Thomas. That guy was like the gold standard of guards on this team. He's really good in the one-on-one pass rush drills. Now, in games, you could get him with like blitzes and stunts and stuff, but one-on-one, you can't move that guy. So I've seen Aaron Banks too. He was making freaking Contavious Street look like Warren Sapp last year in one-on-one.
And sure, maybe it was right guard. It's great, but how much dramatic is he going to look left guard? And you have Trent Williams there. I mean.